The Oscar goes to...
Jamie Lee Curtis!
The legendary actress of Hollywood, Jamie Lee Curtis, set a new topic of interest recently that nobody might have expected. Where most celebrities prefer to keep areas like that in their personal life outside the public radar, Curtis chose to do things a little differently and leave nothing to the imagination. This step has become a shock not only for all her fans, but also turned into a catalyst of wide discussions on appearance, body positivity, and limitations in self-expression in show business. Now, as we dive into this attention-grabbing narrative, it shall cover details of what Jamie Lee Curtis revealed, why it has everyone talking, and the wider implications that might be stirred up in Hollywood and beyond. Buckle up. This is one moment you don't want to miss. The shocking revelation made by Curtis. It all started when Jamie Lee Curtis surprised everyone by stepping out in public, leaving the fans and critics speechless. The elegance and class she had always exuded had been synonymous with Curtis, as much as it possibly could in the sometimes highly superficial world of Hollywood. She decided to do different this time, to come out into the world as a different version of herself that nobody had ever seen before. Curtis attended a high-profile event.
Please welcome our old friend Jamie Lee Curtis.
Where she came dressed in as bold as it was revealing attire. Calculated to challenge the ideals of beauty, this outfit left little to the imagination, exposing Curtis's confidence to break free from convention and come as herself. The people responded almost instantaneously and powerfully. On social media, the comments ranged from admiration to outright disbelief. Many complimented her on her bravery, while others sat in stunned disbelief at what was happening. But what did Curtis reveal exactly? And why was it so effective? The big deal with that moment can only be gleaned if we look a little deeper than the obvious and realize what she was really saying.
Your perception of life is that it's one long benefit dinner in your honor with everybody cheering you on and wanting you to win everything.
What was the actual message behind this move? It was beyond fashion when Jamie Lee Curtis came out in such a raw and unfiltered way. It was a bold statement about being real and in love with your body. Curtis swam against the tide in an industry often projecting unreal beauty standards by celebrating her natural self. For so long, Curtis has been a fierce pitchwoman for self-acceptance, having not shut up about her opinions against such pressures laid on women to conform to some sort of physical ideals. She was making the ball-like statement that beauty is not defined by age, size, or even societal expectations, but by the confidence and authenticity exuded by a person. This touched a chord in many, especially those who had battled with esteem and body image issues. Curtis's act was, therefore, an eye-opener to many, and a reminder that all human beings deserve a chance to feel beautiful and confident in their own skin, irrespective of what the media and society dictate. Her very openness in revealing herself pointed to the fact that double standards prevailed in the industry, where, while male actors could grow old naturally, women were constantly judged on every line or flaw. Curtis's act was a revolt against those outdated norms that propagate others to show themselves as they are without being intimidated by judgment calls. Public reactions. The public reaction to Jamie Lee Curtis's bold revelation was as diverse and strong. Fans and celebrities took to social media praising her for coming out with the truth. Many have seen it as a triumphant moment, a victory for those who have had to endure the quieting of their real selves. Celebrities like Helen Mirren and Viola Davis used the opportunity to call in and sing praises for Curtis's daring move. Mirren roared, "Jamie Lee Curtis has always been a trailblazer, and this moment is no exception. She's showing us all that beauty is about being true to who you are." Fans, on the other hand, sent her endless notes of support and gratitude on her social media. But not everybody was on board with the Curtis sympathy train. Some critics countered that it was all a bit overblown, asking if it was befitting of someone of her status and age to make such a bold public utterance. Others felt she was begging for attention or trying to stay relevant in an industry that so often sidelines the older actresses. These critiques, though, of course, only fueled the conversation about ageism and the unrealistic expectations placed on women within Hollywood. Curtis supporters immediately blasted the hypocrisies that could be read from such critiques, proclaiming that if a younger actress had made similar comments, she would be widely celebrated as bold, edgy, and unafraid. In many ways, Curtis's move was a call for whether or not society will accept and celebrate women at each stage of life or not. Jamie Lee Curtis, a legacy of breaking barriers. This certainly won't be the first time that Jamie Lee Curtis has challenged the status quo. For starters, throughout her career, she's always moved way outside the box in both roles and personae. From Halloween to playing the lead lady in True Lies, which won her a Golden Globe Award for Best Actress, Curtis has never been afraid to take on roles that go against convention. This is only the latest in a career bravely and authentically defined. In choosing to reveal herself, Curtis continues a legacy of challenging the norms and inspiring others to do the same. Amidst a world of much pretension and societal expectations, Curtis's decision to leave nothing to the imagination is a firm reminder that beauty lies within. The broader impact: redefining beauty and aging in Hollywood. Jamie Lee Curtis's bold coming has opened up a wider discussion on beauty and aging in Hollywood. For far too long has the industry been controlled by unrealistic standards that often leave little room for diversity or authenticity. The act of self-expression by Curtis serves as an example of defiance against norms, pushing the industry to reassess the standards followed and toward assuming the meaning of beauty more inclusively. It can serve to empower and inspire other actresses and public figures to accept their natural selves in the fight against these forces of life that want to see them conformed into doing or being something they really are not. Curtis's willingness to reveal herself, sans filters and pretenses, is such a powerful statement, and it can lead to lasting change in the industry. Of course, this conversation about age in Hollywood is specific. Many actresses find that with age, their parts dwindle, or they are forced into extensive plastic surgery to regain a youthful look somehow. Curtis's choice, against these pressuring forces to grow older like a human being, is radical compared to the norm, and one that could help pave the way for better acceptance of aging in the industry. Critics versus supporters, the ongoing debate. As in the case of any bold statement, so is Jamie Lee Curtis's revelation met with some critics and some supporters. The debate has transcended social media platforms for the reason that the media and the talk shows now discuss the repercussions of her act. Her supporters say Curtis is setting a new standard for authenticity in Tinseltown. Her supporters see this move as a further step to knock down unrealistic expectations that have plagued the industry for far too long. By showing herself so freely, Curtis is challenging the status quo and is setting an example for others to be open as well. However, what constitutes the fine line between self-expression and sensationalism is one point that critics raise. Can it be considered a move toward authenticity, or was it a publicity stunt? Some went as far as to say that the reveal was an attempt at staying relevant in an industry that puts a premium on youth and beauty. Curtis's fans, however, still firmly hold the belief that she is one of the most potent forces for positive change out there. They point out that if Curtis's reveal got such a heated debate going, then that alone proves it. With her pushing at that envelope of what's considered acceptable, Curtis is doing her part to make this an ever more inclusive and accepting industry. Conclusion: Jamie Lee Curtis's bold move will resonate for years to come. What Jamie Lee Curtis did, leaving nothing to the imagination, is more than shocking. It is a statement of defiance. It defies all the norms that have framed what a woman in Hollywood should look like and act like for ages. Living true to herself and proudly defying the pressure to conform, Curtis provided a shining example for all to follow. This will probably go down as a pivotal moment in the discussion about beauty, aging, and authenticity in entertainment. What Curtis was willing to open up with has sparked a debate that will be felt for years to come. It should inspire others to live truthfully and mount a challenge to the unrealistic standards that have been haunting Hollywood. In conclusion, Jamie Lee Curtis's bold move is just another reminder of how true beauty goes far beyond looks. Beauty essentially lies in confidence, originality, and the guts to be yourself, no matter what. As the world is yet to come to terms with the fallouts of her acts, one point is very evident. Jamie Lee Curtis has yet again re-instilled that she is indeed a force to reckon with in Hollywood. What do you make of this bold revelation from Jamie Lee Curtis? Do you think it was one of the most powerful ways to express authenticity? Or was it too much? Let us know in the comments below, and be sure to hit that subscribe button for many more updates on your favorite celebrities and the craziest moments out of Hollywood.